All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Business Blueprints. We have episode 18, and we got the guys from Planet Roof today. We have Travis Kenny and Adam Fincik. I appreciate you guys for coming on.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So I like to get started by everything else. I mean, how did this all come about? I mean, that's always the thing for a lot of people is there's always an idea, and how do you turn it into a concept?
You want to take it?
Sure, yeah. I mean, it was kind of obviously a progression of things. Like, it started off as me and him knew each other. We had a sales job together. And, I always knew there was money in construction and things like that. He had a background in roofing, so it was a kind of a natural progression to go that way. We just kind of, every step of the way, tried to just make it better and better and better. And like we were talking about before, just kind of taking ideas from other people and just creating a monster,
Yeah, I mean, so you guys both came from sales. Both of you?
Yeah.
So how was the trend? I think a lot of people get caught up in this too, right? Because there's a big difference between sales and an actual operator. So operator of a business and sales is two different worlds, right? So you can operate in sales, but that always doesn't leverage into being an operator in a business. So I'm just asking because I came from sales too. So like my entire life was sales. So how was that transition, with you guys to, going from a sales position to an actual operator of a business?
So I'd say we're somewhat comfortable. Me having the roofing background and everything like that.
I'd say it's more or less we learned so much being an operator that we were doing wrong. It took so long.
Yeah.
We could sell. So
So that's what I was saying is I think people get caught up in like the bullshit, right? So it's like, all right, everybody in the beginning gets all caught up on just generating revenue.
Yeah.
And the issue between generating revenue is like selling's one piece of it, but there's an execution aspect, right? So like we can go out and sell 6 million in roofs, but all right, hold on now. What is the actual operational behind it? Okay, are we going to go, who's going to be the warranty guy? Who's going to be the guy on site? Are we going to actually lay the shingles ourselves? Are we going to have sub-base model? Like, so how did it start out for you guys? Did you always kind of have like the model you have now, or did you slowly progress into the model you have now?
Progression. We were both just selling. And the mistake we made big time is we kind of bid on to like nowadays, a lot of people are like, you need to work on your like systems and processes. And I feel like that gets like taken too much by people where they're like, they do what we did, and we both completely stepped away from sales. And we were like, okay, we need to build this like systems and processes, and like I feel like it took us too much away from that to where we were trying to like build up and forget about sales, and then we jump back into sales. And you gotta as an owner operator find somebody that thinks like you, and that's tough.
Very much, and especially on a partnership side of it. So, I mean, you're into like the coaching aspect and a lot of it like that. Have you guys done the EOS stuff at all? Visionary integrator, like who's the visionary, who the integrator is.
We've been through.
So that's always a fun process to go through because some people might think they're the visionary, and then when they do that, they're like, oh, I'm not.
Yeah, right.
Which kind of gets into like sometimes I've been in them where they're like it gets weird, or because the integrator is the hard piece to find. Like the visionary, I mean, people have ideas and people have a lot of ideas come to them, and somebody's got to execute those ideas, and that becomes a thing, right? I mean, for me, it was, I always looked at my defects of like, okay, my brain goes at 10,000 miles an hour. I got a shitload of ideas, and I focus on A, B's, and C's activities, but I suck in the details. So like our first hire was like now our operations manager who like is my right hand person, and like because she's so detail oriented that like everything that I do at super fast speed, she's just grabbing the pieces behind me and just putting it all together. And then whenever it gets to the end, she's like, all right, we're okay. And just keep on, But then you need that person there too to like pull you back whenever shit's getting too crazy. And they're like, whoa.
Well, that's what made us successful, honestly, was like, I'm like, shoot for the moon. Fuck everything else. And he'd be like, hold on a second, dude. We got to think this through. And I'm like, no, When I look back on it, I'd say that's kind of like what made us like really
start getting going
against each other.
Sure.
And
but that's good conversation. Like, you have to have that. Like, if you're, and this is just my view because I have partners too, right? So, like, when you're involved in a situation like that, if you're not looking at the whole spectrum of something, then you're really looking at it just from one singular lens. So, like, as a partnership, you should have different, views because you're in different aspects of the business. Like, I don't overstep my boundaries for shit. Like, the guys that do handle construction, I don't go to construction. Like, I'm not in that world. Like,
what would the point of being partners
that's what
with
I'm saying.
somebody who thinks
But there's a lot of
exactly
people that cross those lines.
Yeah.
They can't stop because there becomes a control aspect of like, I have to hold on to this. This is like, I don't know if they can do it as well as I can do it. And that kind of really feeds itself out. Like, that's what's great, I'm sure, about your partnership. My partnership is like, each one of us understand our roles and we do not divvy from them. Like, that's it. That's where we're sitting, man. Like, if there's a problem in sales, they're not stepping in. Like, it's my problem. Like,
yeah.
And
for us, that took time to figure out. You know what I'm saying?
That wasn't full of egos.
That was
absolutely. Like, we're all full of egos.
Absolutely, we're both visionaries.
Yeah, like a mentor of mine told me early on, like, contractors are like boxers, man. We all think we're the best.
No doubt.
So
100%.
You all got to kind of like find that mold in what you guys got going on and really make it click. So how long have you guys been doing it now together?
It's going on. We're going on 9 years.
Yep, 9 years.
Yep. Going
So
on
what year was the turning point, you think, when you really start picking up steam?
That's a good question. I can't give an exact year, but there was a year.
Yeah, there always is.
I have an opinion.
When we were first when we were first starting, it was owner operator. We're doing everything like we couldn't see. We had no idea what the hell we were doing. We couldn't see how to run a business. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And that's always like the key aspect that I always want to ask people, because there's a lot of people that have an vision of doing it and see things of doing it. Now, when you actually start to do it, you're like, oh man, this is a daunting task here.
We went to a conference, and that's probably what he's going to get at. I can remember being at this conference, man. I got to admit this. It was they were talking about production managers and sales managers, and I'm looking at him. I'm like, what the fuck is a production manager?
Yeah.
Oh, for
Meanwhile,
real.
I thought I knew.
No clue.
Because I come from the roofing world.
I'm like,
so I
that's
thought
a
I
guy
knew.
that sits on the job. Like, we were complete.
Yeah.
What do you mean there's a guy that sits there all day?
What do you mean? You pay him to
He
do
doesn't
what?
do anything?
Paying him to do that shit.
Yeah. And then we just started, we took a lot of what we learned at that one specific conference that we have attended year after year since. And, that really helped catapult us to where we are now. It helped us understand business structure. Yeah. Because that first year of the conference was a systems and process conference, which he did mention earlier about us like going too deep into systems and processes too. It took time to find that balance and to learn that like systems and processes are just as important as sales, but sales is just as important as systems and processes.
Yeah, and the weird thing is like your systems and processes are going to constantly change. So we're
sales got to be king.
We're in year 6 and like we're redoing all of our systems and processes again. Because our ordering process is different than what it was before. Right. I just build out master sales metrics for like every step of our process in Asana. So like our new hires have a 30, 60, 90-day expectation of what's responsible for them inside of there. And it's all broken down per task. It's changed.
That's progression.
It's changed forever. And that's why I always ask the questions of like, because again, it's always nice to see a partnership get together and talk about the older days, because then you really start to like, man, we've really done some shit.
Well, the cool part now is the fact that our partner now owns the conference we went to at first. Like he bought it. And what we're learning from that aspect, going from being like local schmokel roofers or business in general.
And we're all Valley kids.
Small business. Yeah, right. Yeah. We're Valley boys. A lot of people are like, what's that, man?
100%, man.
So going from that mindset, like I own my own business. Yeah, I'll do this, I'll do that, to like now seeing he thinks on like a corporate level.
Yeah.
Like he's very bang, 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 bang. And we're like, what? That's like really how you got it. Yep.
Secondary question to that. So you guys are, I'm assuming with him, are also implementing a lot of new things into the business, like systems, like the softwares, all that stuff.
All new.
Yeah.
That's a challenge, isn't it, to get it to convey it to the team?
probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my life.
Dude, we
You know, because we spent so many years building and working and understanding this software and how to tweak it and how to use it, and you know, and then you jump to a whole brand new thing and a way of doing things.
Yeah, we have a team meeting on Thursdays, and it goes over. It's ran similar to EOS. But again, I was like laying out the full sales process through Asana and just to show it to the team and, you know, yada, yada. Cause we just hired, more salespeople and project managers. So we're out rolling new platforms for them, you know, and one of the people on our team was like, okay, so we have CRM, we have this, we have Builder Trend, we have this.
That's
and it's like,
right.
You know what I mean? And I'm like,
right.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, listen, like you're going to need, you know, 4 softwares in there to get to 24 million. If that's what you want to do, like this is what's going to get you there. Like it's not just one singular thing is going to carry you to the finish line because again, each tool is utilized for something completely different. Yeah. You know, Builder Trend's a general contracting tool. Like we use it for selections and, you know, all of our custom build clients and our custom built CRM is for all the financials. We can project, we can do this, we can do that, we can run reports, you know. Asana is for accountability for everybody.
Even being able to have these, I'm just being real, to have conversations like this. I never thought when we started 8-9 years ago, like I would, like what the hell is a CRM or a P&L or a balance sheet? Like I don't know.
P&L?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too, right? Is like, you know, when you're coming through, like a lot of people don't know how to read a P&L right. You know,
no doubt.
It takes time.
And that was for sure.
We're still going actually to a class. We're going to tomorrow to Bristol for a few days to go learn. And
so the smart, again, I think I accidentally did this, you know, again, like it's people that I know, right? So like inside my circle, you know, early on I was introduced to our bookkeeper who's now our accountant, but I didn't know back in this was probably 4 years ago that I hired him on as a fractional CFO. And I didn't know the dividends that it would pay until 4 years now. And like when I go to do anything with a bank, I mean, our monthly reporting sheets are spot on, fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, like,
you know what I mean? Like I send them to a bank, like, yeah, we don't have any questions. We're good, thank you.
Right.
You know, you're not like getting that whole.
That's priceless, man.
I didn't understand that until recently, until somebody looked at, like, you know, again. In my career, I'm the same as you guys. Like, I'll get to a ceiling and I feel it, and then I'll go back into consulting. Like, we hired on. I'm full one-on-one with Claudio at Win Rate, and so I'm one-on-one with him, and it's the same thing. So we went down to his place in the Carolinas like a month ago, and we laid out a whole new business model and all the other shit. And
you have
to, because I mean, that's the only way. And this is what I tell everyone: like, yeah, we'll get there, but I'm going to get there 3 years longer. I'm going to bleed out money the entire way.
Perspective.
And I'm going to have to try and figure this out and be in a pain in the ass the entire time. And I'm like, I'm more of a like, let's lay this out and go after it type of guy.
Right. Know? If there's the ability to make something happen faster, definitely.
I think, again, a lot of people get caught in the money. And I'm like, but this is how business owners.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my God.
Yeah, but I'm like, but you're gonna bring it back 20x.
Oh yeah.
If you put in the work.
If you put in the work and trust yourself to go to the conference or the coaching.
We've lost. It's just
millions.
Like life in general.
Millions.
The money we've lost, we've always learned something from. Like I have people hit me up, dude, all the time. They're like, dude, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this. I'm like, just do it. Yeah. That's how I actually got started in like flipping house, stuff like that. I talked to one of my mentors. I was like, I was thinking about this. He's like, just buy it, just do it. Yeah. I was like, but what if? He was like, just do it. So what? If you fuck it up and you mess it up, he was like, just go.
That really pushed us into
doing
it.
Yeah, we did it, and I was like, what?
I mean, that's what you know, inevitably. Again, I mean, I joined the group 2013. That's inevitably what led me to flipping houses, and then I realized I didn't like that. I went and worked at a $10 million flipping company at the time in 17. Then I understood the game, and I understood an elevated company, and I'm like, all right, well, cool. Then I moved on, and I was already kind of doing some spec stuff with the new builds. I'm like, all right, I'm starting to understand the game now. I'm like, we got to redo this whole model again, and start to, you know, like I said, we started in that room right to there, and now we just, again, like you guys, I mean, over the years, you just progressively need more and more space, and you know, that type of stuff. More problems. You know, so that always becomes the thing, right? So like, the trajectory of you guys in 9 years is pretty like significant. So what was the scale look like? Because obviously payroll's a thing, right? Overhead's a thing, right? So everyone's freaking out in the beginning, early on, and even still, like payroll, overhead, yada yada yada. You're like,
it's a living, breathing thing.
Yeah.
That needs.
So
to be
how do you guys
to.
handle it on a day to day of like when are you guys still in scale mode, or like what's the model now look like?
Full scale mode. Yeah.
Full scale.
Absolutely.
It's hard to even it's hard to even like put words to what we're doing now. Like our whole business and everything has changed so much in the past 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
Now, is that because of that guy?
From the merger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What we thought was
so you
gonna
sold
happen.
off some of your shares of the company to this guy, and he's now bringing it to the next level.
Correct.
That's the way it
That's
goes.
exactly.
And that's
what
the
it
way it
is.
goes.
That's exactly what it is.
And yeah, it's so different now from what we thought it would be at the beginning of the year. But yeah, we're in full scale mode, like times 100.
Okay.
Of what, like, he like knows how to do what, like we talked about, what somebody's aiming to accomplish in 10 years and 2.
He's looking to take you, again, I don't know the number, Mark, or what you're trying to do, but I'm sure it's significant, 10X.
Oh, for sure.
know.
Yeah. I mean, like,
Yeah, about that.
yeah. Quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fast.
Fast.
Right.
And a lot of it has to do with, like you're talking about, is just like the way you pay people, the way you control your flow, your money.
Yep.
So we used to just kind
The
of
way you collect money.
Yep,
all
the way
that.
you collect all of it. So we used to just kind of like, we'd have an issue and we would throw money at it.
Yeah.
And be like, well, here, this person needs paid or this needs done. We would just throw money at it. Now it's like we're realizing like that's lazy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's
It's
lazy.
lazy.
Yeah.
It's like with your kids.
Well, the issue is in construction, I tell everybody this. Construction's a game. The more money you throw at it, this bitch is like Miss Pac-Man. She'll just keep eating it.
eating it.
Whatever
eating
you
it.
throw at it, it's going to take.
It's gonna
like,
take
listen,
it.
you keep inserting
Well, not
orders,
only
it's going to eat
every
them.
bit of
Not only that, we would like sit down and look at our stuff, and I can't wait till one day looking back on like even where we're at right now, because we're in such a crazy growing and learning mode. We're both like our heads are spinning.
Yeah.
I can't wait to look back in a couple years and realize what was happening, because I'm realizing now as it's going on, I'm learning from him.
It's fun.
It's fun.
That's just and there's like just like anything that there's resistance to as you go through it. You take a step back and you take a look and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't celebrate wins. It's hard for a lot of business owners, right? And people in my people in my office are always like, you pissed today? I'm like, it's just kind of my game face. Like for me, like in the morning, I always tell everyone the way I see it is when the bell goes off, like the stock market, man, we're here to fucking play. Like if you want to be friends with me, then we'll be friends at 6. You know what I mean? But from the bell ring, when the bell rings to the end of the day, like we're here. This is real life. Like, we're responsible for, I don't know your end, but we have almost 20 employees and everybody else, their families, yada yadas, and all the the subs and everybody else for control all the same shit. It's heavy, man. Like it's that becomes a thing, and but just like for me, as I try and live a little bit more in the moment now of like you're understanding what you're going for and you're trying to have more fun with it. And when we bought that office in January, it was kind of a moment where I was like, God damn, man, I never think I'd be nowhere near this point.
Yeah, this is real.
It's crazy.
This is real, man.
This is crazy. Like you said though, like we're talking about, like you're just guys from the valley, right? And like early on, I was like, you sure you want me to build your fucking house?
Yeah.
Like, are you sure?
Imposters.
Like, I don't even think I would want me to. Like, I don't even think. Like, are you? Like, I wouldn't let me build jet.
Yeah.
But again, like it's now seeing you guys on the buses and all the stuff you guys got going on, and it's a super cool thing. And I'm sure for you guys, what would you say has been a big contributing factor, prior to the merger, but even up to that point, like what was the big factor of getting the growth? Was it culture? Was it just?
I think most of it has to do with, this is so cliche, but most of it has to do with like self-development. Mm-hmm. It's people think that's like, yeah, right, okay, what's waking up early or reading a book or doing this have to do with anything? But like when you wake up in the morning and you're up before the ass crack of dawn, long before you need
You're
to
up
get
before
up.
the world's up.
And you're getting your mind right. Like I wake up 4:30 in the morning and sit in cold water.
Yeah.
I'm sure you probably do the same shit. And people are like, oh, that's some like, egotistical, like weird shit. Like, why you want to go? No, it's because when I wake up, it does something to me that makes me now be like, okay, what else can I do? Yeah. What else can I do that's like hard?
Well, you do it day after day after day after day, and then you cultivate that discipline.
And people,
And that discipline is good.
It's everything.
no, people, man, they like are so attracted to it. Yeah. Everybody that works for us and stuff like that, and like a lot of people, we get through social media and stuff. Of just messaging me, asking me questions, and like they're so attracted to it because it's not normal.
They're so attracted to it because it's something they wish they could do.
They're not
Yes.
going to, and they're not, right.
That's
and they
the
may
thing
not
is,
do.
for sure.
Right.
I tell everyone like, a big
agree
reason why
anymore.
I win is I'm consistent as fuck. Like I'm super consistent.
Same shit every
Like
day,
I'm
yeah.
just gonna be whatever you need me to do. Whenever you need me there, I'll always be there. Yeah. Like you don't need to send me or no reminder.
And competitive too. Like I'm
Competitive as
sure
hell.
this is a big thing too. Is like you share something you do on social media. We were kind of talking about this before. I see that and I'm like, damn, that motherfucker's doing that. I could do that too.
Yeah, because it should light a fire under everybody's
Yes.
ass,
I don't look at it as like, oh, fuck this dude or fuck.
No, I
Wilson.
look at everything in, I think the biggest mistake that everybody makes, and this is a reason why I wanted to even have this going on, this atmosphere that we can all come here is because we're better together.
Hell yeah.
Like, we're all better together, right? Like, at the end of the day, like, I messaged you, you messaged me. Like, we were talking about how, we did 75. We do 75 hard as a team. We were talking about that.
Yeah.
And then, it builds that camaraderie, because you're doing hard shit with people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, most people don't do that. Whether you fail or you don't, whether you fail or you make it, awesome. It's not about that. It's about the fact that you're doing it together as a team. You're going through hard shit together. And if you're having a bad day, I'm here to lift you up. Day 3, I might be having a bad day. I need you.
Yeah.
You need to send me a message like, hey, we're going to get this today. You know?
Yeah.
So that's like the difference, I think, in a lot of the mentality of like, it's everyone's like, oh, we're in the same industry. Like, fuck them. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah,
like, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Like, we can all be even in the same market. Like, I have a lot of friends in construction. I bid against none of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Zero.
Yeah.
It's
It's not like I don't want to hurt you, but I want to beat you though.
Dude,
Well,
right?
I mean,
I don't want to
again,
hurt
like,
you.
we all have different goals.
But I want to win.
Like some of my friends don't want a $24 million business. Like some of my friends are cool with $1 million business, and they're great with that.
Right. And they love it.
Yeah.
Right. They're
Happy,
comfortable, happy.
That's their thing of what they want. And I would never, deviate from somebody else's things. But again, I'm the same way. Like I'm always paying attention to other people's businesses. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Again, like I look at cleanliness of sites. I look at, did they check up on this after the job? Like how thorough was it? How long did it take? You know what I mean? Like
all of that.
Our
Absolutely,
big
you're
thing
right.
too, I remember, this might help somebody. Obviously, it's the reason people listen to this is try to level up. Is the like you're talking about that job site media and like what went through my mind whenever we like rebranded the Planet Roof. I always think, okay, there's a million Joe Schmoes in a truck. Mm-hmm. If somebody were to walk into a room like a home show and there's 50 contractors in there, what can we do that's going to make them walk out and be like, man, I forget most of them, but I definitely remember them. Mm-hmm. And that's how we do everything. You know what I mean? That's how we just operate. It's like every tiny thing we do.
Yeah, you set a standard.
Well, that and just competition is just such a driver, and watching and all guys like that we've looked up to and that we still look up to, and seeing what they do and
Everybody
have an
deserves their
opportunity
flowers.
to meet with them and learn from them is honestly it has a big it's a big reason why we are where we're at.
Yeah, 100%.
Without that competition and without them guys, you know what I'm saying?
And you realize you talk to some of the guys that you're thinking that about, and they're like willing to tell you every single detail of how they do everything. You're like, what?
It's fascinating when somebody ahead. That's what they say this quote all the time. You've never heard of anybody who's ahead of you hate on you.
Yeah.
No.
They're not
at
concerned.
this point, I got a guy that's I think he might have reached out to Trav before too, but it's, coming to me for advice and is on me to meet with me and to sit down to meet with me. And I want nothing more in this world than to give it all to him.
Yeah.
All of
See
it.
him succeed.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Just to see him grow from where he's at right now, from, taking what I've learned and giving it back to him.
I tell people, even my friends and everyone in business, like, listen, I'm more excited to see you win than myself.
Yeah.
I am. Like,
feels good, man.
Oh, dude, I'm just happy to see other people win, because I know that through the smoke screen of social media, there's a whole lot of bullshit you went through to get to that win.
Yeah.
And go through.
And you went through
Still
it.
going.
Yeah,
Still,
every
every
day.
day, yeah.
At the moment you're posting it.
All the time. For sure.
I try to be very clear about that, too, because social media does give the...
Well, yeah, we only win.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong.
But what's weird,
Nothing ever happens
here's
in a
what's
day.
weird, though, because I pay attention. I'm sure you see that you pay attention to your, analytics or whatever. People don't respond as much when I go on and I'm having a bad day and I say, hey, man, we all deal with these problems. I'll get, way less people, and they'll be like, oh, yeah.
That's because they don't care about real game.
And then when they see I could put a big win up and be like, yo, look, da-da-da-da, and they're like, I get all these likes. And
I see it all the time. I mean,
weird.
even for me, I came from, the Apex, the same stuff too, and that was a great build, foundational stuff. But what it taught me was to be consistent, and I learned a lot about the social media game during those times. And I mean, I posted every day almost at the same time for almost 4 years now. I haven't missed one day.
all business posts or just whatever.
No, just
Yeah,
it's every other day type stuff. You know what I mean? Do a little promoting, do a little, this, and give back, throw out some game. But again, when you throw out real game, you get the least amount of engagement. When you throw out a picture of a house, you fucking through the roof. You put a picture of your kids up, you get 2 million likes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
So I'm with you. A lot of people don't like to look into the nitty gritty of what's real in business. And that's unfortunate because you can learn a lot and you can start a business. You could genuinely start a business by a lot of the things that I posted in the last 4 years.
Oh, sure.
But you would rather just celebrate somebody else's win.
Yeah.
So what I realize is the reason, we were talking about, most guys are willing to share everything because business is super hard.
Oh yeah, they know you're not.
And
gonna put
there's
in the
so
work.
many steps and there's so much work.
Yeah.
I could give you the full playbook, and you're like, damn, you just gave me that. And then within 2 days, you'll be back to your same shit because you're doing what's comfortable.
Yeah. It's like going to an NA meeting and they relapse all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I can't deal with your fucking same shit.
Yeah, I can tell you what to do, man.
I can't keep dealing with
You
you
gotta
making
want it.
excuses on why you keep getting high. It's just listen, man. You either want it for yourself or you don't. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I agree with you. I mean, anybody that asks me, I'm an open book.
Yeah. Tell you
You
anything.
want to start a
Very
building company?
willingly.
Awesome. I would love to see more kids do it.
Yeah.
Well, because this is legitimately, like I was trying to say, entrepreneurship is the hardest game on planet Earth that you can play. It's more competitive. I know you probably listen to some of the same people I listen to. It's more competitive than baseball, hockey, football. I mean, people's lives are on the line every single day.
No
you know
doubt.
what I mean? Your life,
The
your
weight of it.
family's life, your people's lives. I mean, that's if you're anything like us and like you and I, we take that serious. And that's the guys that do, I believe, are the ones that get to the next step.
I mean, there's got to be a level of understanding of the weight that you're carrying. And there'll be days that again, we're scaling again. Same thing with you guys. We're looking at 14 million in a year. It's a lot for us because we're a high dollar product type company.
Yeah.
We've grown 150+% each year. So it's not undoable. It's just bigger numbers now. But yeah, I mean, I was stressed the fuck out like crazy. And was talking to one of my homies and my mentor. He's like, bro, he always got to remind me, dude, you asked for this. You should be fucking thankful that you got these problems.
I got to remember that once a week.
This is everything you ever wanted, bro. You need to shut the fuck up, put your head down and get to work. I was like, man. Yeah, I think I needed to hear that. You
need to hear it.
Because I'll start whining.
I don't know how deep you got in, the bad spots of your life.
Deep.
Yeah. I've been to hell. We all been to hell.
Sure. Been as low as it goes.
To be able to
be
sitting in a vehicle that runs well, and I don't got to worry about it breaking down, and
there's gas in it.
I ain't dope sick, you know what I mean?
You know, what's crazy is I said this to a kid who I barefoot with, his dad and stuff, and he goes to WVU, and great kid. I mean, could not be a better kid, you know, and he knows my story and all the other stuff, so I was busting his balls on why he was late for skiing on Sunday. And he, you know, he's like, I was messing around doing some homework and stuff like that, and I guess in the you know, corner of the page, they have like the professor's photo on the homework. And he was talking about it, and I was like, don't discount us guys in construction, because guess what? We probably make more money than he does.
Yeah, right.
And in 2009, I was sitting in a prison cell.
Yeah,
so like,
not probably.
you know, don't forget the story of like, you know, what us guys, you know, in the trades, and everybody laughs at us, and everybody think, oh, here comes the help. Like, I mean, it's a real business. I mean, construction is, you can make some money,
I don't know
man.
Why
but,
it's I don't know.
But you're
why
gonna eat some real shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna eat shit sandwiches.
Yeah,
a lot
of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you get used to eating shit sandwiches, though, it's like
learn how to do
everything
it.
else after that tastes good.
yeah, you're like, what else?
They start tasting good.
Yeah.
Right.
So what are some of the guys that you mentioned who you listen to? So what are some of the people you listen to for
I'm
some
big on Andy Frisella.
Okay.
Yeah. That's my guy, man.
He's hyped right now.
He's, you know, like we talk about with the discipline and with the self-development, man. It was just one more step that I was missing at the time, probably missing more steps that I just don't see, is the mental toughness.
Yeah.
I mean, it's when you're getting beat down and eating shit sandwiches every single day, and it's not like, oh, it happens on Monday and then maybe again on Friday, and it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Just, you know, because I'm not a big like social media guy or YouTuber or anything like that, man. So like,
I did my research. You're non-existent.
right, man.
Just whatever you're tagged in is when you pop up.
Here and there,
which
I
is fine.
pop up.
Yeah.
So for me to like dive in and dig into somebody, you know, and want to really learn from them and put the time into YouTube, I mean, to me, you have to like knock my socks off, man. And I mean,
So
I'm talking a lot about this dude, man, but like he has a big, like his podcast and everything he does has a big hand in where I'm at now, for sure.
I agree with you.
I never thought, dude, like I used to be embarrassed to say stuff like that.
People don't want to buy into it.
Right?
People are like, oh, you just listen. I'm like,
now I'm proud, man. You know what I mean? To you know, I'll wear the First Form gear.
Sure.
See people in the gym, and it's like, I mean, real shit. I've drummed up, you know, business, and with a real estate agent.
Because again, I mean, people understand of who you know, like, and trust, and you're like, oh, that guy likes First One. I like First One. Well, that's our common connection.
Right.
Where's this relationship gonna go?
We send a video of like us talking to like before we go to any appointments, or people will act like just because you have a YouTube video, they'll be like, "Oh my God, that's the guy from the video."
Yeah. I got that the other day.
Anybody
again.
could make.
Yeah.
I got it the other day again from the commercial at the Bell Vernon football game.
Sure.
Yeah. You're on that
yeah.
commercial. You're there on your
It's so
phone, man.
easy. People people so overcomplicate things.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best form of marketing still in the world is I'm sure same as you guys. We sponsor every single team that ever remotely asks.
Absolutely.
You know, because again, it's us giving back to, you know, I think recently we paid for they created like Henry and them created like a league for like the Monessen basketball kids.
I know.
We
He
paid,
knows Nicole. Yeah.
I paid for almost all of it, dude. It was like $8,000. Like it was just
That's legit, man.
But again, like
yeah,
it was,
but that's a
you know,
dream
again,
come
like
true
from
to
us,
be able to do that.
from us, like man, we all came from the streets. Like these kids never had a chance, you know, and like for us, it was like understanding if we can get you out of that aspect of life just for a little, you know what I mean, and get your brain off of what the shit you're going through and all the other stuff to just have a good time, focus on some actual, you know, sports that teach you discipline, that teach you structure, that teach you, you know, to get to the next level, to teach you some mindset stuff. Because I'm with you. I mean, every time I've ever scaled, I've always piled on 75 hard and all the harder shit along with it. Because when you're doing that, you're running out of different gear, man. Like you're ready to take on everything because you're so just like in it. You're in that moment. I mean, when we were going through COVID, I did 75 hard 4 times that year. You know,
That's awesome.
That's impressive, man.
I mean, I did 75 hard phase 1, phase 2, and did 75 hard again in between it and going into phase 3 because like I was like, I mean, we were losing money by the fucking truckload. And I mean, at like seconds, the door was about to be closed.
And you're like, I got to beat myself up.
know all
right now.
about
Ain't
it,
that
brother.
funny?
Yeah, but I mean, like, again, I've said it, like, it cultivated back to some relationships that we forged early on, and God dropped us some blessings in there, man, and, like, saved us whenever we needed it. And, you know, I think the thing in business is everybody gets caught up on, you know, just the money aspect of it. Like, you know, one of our core values is connection, because we have a relationship. Like, Friday, we went to one of the people we built for. We helped him finish his basement, ordered his materials, helped him out with drywall, and we went and had like a happy hour there with him. Like, that's the ultimate compliment, you know, when you build somebody's home and you can go there after the fact, hang out with them, and like, you know, see the space that they created, and they're excited to show you. And, you know, that's what this is about. Like, when you do the right thing and you're in the situation, the money will always come. You know, and that's always the thing, but it's the relationships that are going to take you to that next level, and will always take you to that next level. Absolutely. You know, and I think that's the thing is like, people get like, I'm with you whenever you were talking about competition, because like, for me, my ultimate like person that I look up to, that's a celebrity, is Kobe Bryant. Like, there's not even a fucking close second. Like, not even close. Right. So, like, Kobe has a kill list, and that's what he had when he was 13. When he was ranked, like, number 500 in the world, like, he had a kill list of everyone he needed to do to get to the top. Like, that's how I am. Like, I have a kill list on all the people that I'm coming after of, like, listen, this is where I want. You know, this is where we're going. And again, it's not a literal thing. It's just, this is what I'm shooting for. Like, this is my goals. This is who I'm going after, and this is what I want to do. And, you know, like, as a father, as a businessman, as a competitor, as a leader, because I think the hardest part about business now, especially for me, is it's learning that I have to be a leader. Like, I need to learn empathy, and I need to learn these things and to train the people to that internalize it, to get them to the next level, right? Because I'm not a people person. Like, I am fucking balls to the wall, dude. And like, my biggest complaint with people inside my company is I'm unapproachable, because I'm just like, I am geared to, I don't look like I'm very friendly.
Identical, brother. Yep.
Like, it's
I
hard
deal
for
with
people
it
to
too,
come up
man.
and ask me a question, because they're like, you're going to bite my fucking head off. I'm like, I'm fine.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
I'm focused right
my
now.
admin came in today, and she was like, you're going to be mad. She's like, I need to come in 30 minutes late on Thursday. I was like, 30 minutes? I'm like, okay.
Cool.
Yeah. She's like, you're not mad? I'm like, I'm not always mad.
Not mad all the time.
I'm not always mad. I promise you, I'm not always mad. I just look that way. I'm sorry.
Man. I'm intense, man. Right?
Yeah, I mean, and that's been the thing for me is you know, and another thing that it's really helped me, and especially it's hard in business, is leaving the emotions at the door. You know,
we were just talking.
I'm learning this. I'm learning this every day.
I
just got a big dose of it.
For sure.
Trust me. You know what I mean? And it's a simple fact that, like, you know, when it keep pushing and keep going, you know what I mean? And it's like, somebody had to finally step in and say, yo, motherfucker.
Yeah, chill out.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, chill the fuck out.
Chill the fuck out.
No doubt, because it ain't her fault.
Yeah.
She didn't do shit to you. She's over here and got dinner ready for you, over here bitching. You know, and that's the tough part about it is, I mean, you know, we're always pulled in 8 million directions, and at times your head's just so overwhelmed, or you're just like, oh my God, man, I just need like.
You got to be able to just like, when you get in that mode, to be able to stop for a second. Yeah. And be like, I'm all right.
Yeah.
Everything's good.
That's been one of the biggest things for me, honestly, through my journey is learning how to do that, man. Like, as intense as I get, at this point, I have an understanding of how to take a breath.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Take a step back and look at what's going on and say, if I don't stop here today, right now, this ain't going to get done either. And then, you know, it's snowball effect from there.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really, really great thing, because, again, when you try and do the same thing, when you expect different results, that's the definition of insanity. You know, so I think people don't understand, and that's the thing, when you would start to identify, okay, this is going to happen if I keep going down here. Like, that's a huge step in life, because most people overlook it.
That's such a big win, like you said, dude. I wanted to say that, too. That is a huge win when you come to that realization. You're like, holy shit. I can fucking control this.
If I can identify it, I can control it. You know, but identifying is the first step here.
You want to know something that you said, though, that made me kind of realize something? When you were going through one of the hardest years in business that you had, you put more pressure on yourself. That is the difference between great leaders, great business owners, and people who just want to.
And I mean, I didn't fucking make $1. I didn't take a salary for 16 months.
Yeah.
I didn't take a fucking penny.
Right.
And then whenever
Right.
COVID was
That's
done,
legit,
I
man.
bought out the remaining last $100,000 of debt. Because I knew that if we couldn't get into a stable market, and if like the thing about debt is you're always throwing money at it, right? And then it just doesn't do anything. But then when you eliminate the debt, you're playing the game differently now. Because now your mindset's like, well, I'm just okay. There's no block in the tunnel now.
no
It's fucking
cha-
full
yeah,
straight
yeah,
ahead.
right.
So now I'll just pay the debt back. I just put it on, as debt to the company, paid back to me, and I pay it back monthly, and that gave us the clear vision to roll. Like, because when you're always like, I mean, there was times in COVID, man, we had like $250,000, $300,000 in debt, like, and no money getting ready to come in, and I'm like, holy fuck,
Yeah,
it
this could
is
go-
game over,
Go
dog.
down
You had
quick.
to actively figure it out every fucking day.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
dude!
right.
Like, I mean, we were
Right.
building houses, losing $80,000, $75,000, like $90,000.
And why was how did you realize you were making those mistakes? Was it a bidding problem? Was it a profit margin problem? Was it a
Stability. Yeah, so it was multiple things. So the sales cycle in new construction, custom home building is long. So it's about 6 months for a sales cycle to get from lead in to contract. We're condensing that now into the new model, but back then it was sales were signed, COVID happened, shit went crazy, lumber tripled, roofing shingles tripled, plastics tripled, drywall tripled.
You're
do you have
already
any
in
nothing
contract.
in your contract?
We did. So we were in year 3, and this was like right when we were catching fire. Like we were like interest rates were low, so like everyone was building, doing shit. We were across the street, and we were catching fire finally. Like we had sales, people were coming in, like we were building a good product. So
like you're proving you want this.
yeah, so right. So then I sat down and I was like, fuck, all right, well, I knew people that were getting in lawsuits with other people and they were losing. So I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, well, if we go after this lawsuit and we lose, we still got to build the house. So I'm like, all right, well, how do we protect brand? I'm like, well, the way we protect brand is by eating this gigantic shit sandwich and not saying a fucking word about it and hoping and praying that we can scale really fast during this COVID shit and just keep money coming into the business to at least stay afloat and hope we come out the backside. So we all voted as a team to not say shit, didn't ask for any more money from not one client, and built 17 houses and lost about $1 million. Over the course of 2 years, and I don't regret it.
No,
It made us good as
teaches
fuck.
you.
It made us good as shit because it made us execute on a level that was incredible, and it made us scale out of necessity rather than scaling because we want to. But it enabled us to look at the business and say, okay, we can handle volume. Okay, well, we can do this. Great, we can build 14 houses at a time. Awesome, like. It's doable. Now we just got to clean the processes up and get back into figuring out our numbers and actually bid correctly. And, that was the game changer for us because now it's, now it's off to the races.
What's funny is you have to go through that and lose a shit ton of money. We went through the same thing,
how
but
you
just
learn
in
all your
our
lessons,
own way.
Yeah.
Where we almost had so much thrown at us at one time that we weren't paying attention. When you do insurance work and roofing, your receivables are like
90 days.
even more because
90 to 60. Or,
best
6
way to
months.
explain it for any roofers watch this or is like insurance. The number one reason businesses fail is cash flow.
Yes. Especially in construction.
In construction,
Yes.
cash flow. They don't understand how it comes in, how it goes out. Well, insurance companies are smarter than us typically. You know what I mean?
They're ahead of that.
They're way ahead of us.
They do know
They
how
know
it comes
that.
in and goes out.
They
Yeah.
know how it comes in and goes out. So what did they do when we first got into insurance work? Turnaround was quick. We could get a check back after we did the job within a month or 2.
Yeah.
Now it's 5 months. So by the time you realize it, you're sitting here like, I have all this money in collectibles, and it like realistically at the end of the day, which we're learning now from our partner, is they can do what they want.
Okay, they can.
They can.
Oh, yeah.
They can just not pay you.
Oh, yeah.
And then what are you going to
They
do?
can string you off for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I've had literal conversations. I know he has too where they're like, we're like, well, you owe them this money. And they're like, no. You're like, wait, what do you mean? No, like you have to legally, like you, and they're like, yeah, but no. And
Yeah,
you're like,
you'll get it maybe.
yeah, you'll get it maybe, never.
To come after us.
So we got our asses handed to us and lost hundreds of thousands of dollars, and we were in the same boat where we're like, this is like gonna implode. Like, what do we do here? You know what I mean? And we didn't realize the potential that we had, which is we're in a process of now, which is why I can't wait to have this conversation a couple of years from now. We're seeing like how much potential we actually had and have, and we're turning that around.
So
exponentially.
Is that what you guys are focusing on now? Is ARs and APs? Is that your big focus? Or
Yeah,
is that just a piece of the puzzle?
I'd say more or less like, our partner now, he's the mastermind with that. We're more or less focused on learning how to like significantly grow our business and get used to doing fully retail. Like we were like at first like, what the hell?
So you're going to shift away from insurance?
We already did. We don't do insurance work.
Yeah. That was going to be my secondary question. And I wanted to ask you just because this is a big topic right now, insurance, because the amount it's going up for all Americans. I just want to surface level this. Do you think that roofing companies are a big part of that as well because they push the insurance jobs? Because now as somebody who has multiple rental properties, now my insurance companies are coming hard on me to make me fix them before roofers come along and then get them pushed through insurance.
100%. Especially because it's not just here, man.
It's nationwide.
California,
It's nationwide, 100%.
And Texas, and you know what I mean?
Just you don't ever pay for roof in Texas. That's the key.
Nobody does. They just wait for help.
The problem you have is with this.
But to answer my question, do you see roofing attributing to the problem in insurance?
Yeah. Well, and I'll give you this example. Fully transparent. I had like a cousin. I like saved his life. Yeah. Like he was homeless, on drugs. Like I like taught him the game. He got clean, was doing good. Well, he ended up, I taught him the process. Nothing stopped him from just going and doing it himself and ripping people off for $400,000. Yeah. So now he's going out, and that's where roofers do contribute. Not in Florida or Texas where it's like obvious damage. Yeah. But in all these areas where, like, we thought we were doing the right thing, and we were, but at the end of the day, an insurance company can't handle 500 dudes in every town going out and filing a bunch of claims. And, like, now they're going to start, they're going to start.
They're cracking down on it.
It shows in their process now.
And I'm going to share another piece of information. So I just had a hardcore unemployment audit, and I mean the hardest one I've ever had in my fucking life. Right. And it was way worse than the workman's comp audit. They were so far up my ass.
Those ones usually are the tougher ones.
Holy fuck.
Man.
So I asked the lady at the end, we ended up having we ended up getting credit, but still I was like, listen, can I ask you what triggered this? And I thought it was just maybe a disgruntled employee that we fired and yada, yada, yada. She says, no. She says, what I'm going to tell you is we're cracking down immensely on the construction world because there's a lot of companies that have a lot of guys that call themselves independent contractors, but they're not independent contractors. That's what it is. She's like, there's an A and B for two reasons on an unemployment audit that normal businesses look for. There's a C in the construction world, meaning like now we have to have formalized agreements with all of our subs that say you provide your own tools. You're there with Hemlock's no discretion of Hemlock. You show up whenever the hell you feel like it, and it has to have
don't have any employees.
Yeah. And that was the thing too, is like, they banged us on a couple people because they said our contracts were too generic. And I'm like,
your agreements between you and the subs.
I'm like, you know how many fucking agreements I have with some of these subs? I'm like, I do hundreds of jobs with them. Like everyone needs
We've been whacked.
I've been whacked on them, on the comp ones. And unemployment one went pretty well when we had it. And I think it was the same situation.
But they said they're now digging into the construction world for a lot of the reason, like you said, there's, and Pennsylvania, you send in a check for $50, you're a contractor, man.
Yeah,
you build a
that's
fucking
it.
house. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
That's all it takes.
Yep.
And a phone call to Angie's list.
You get one guy that kind of sees how the world works, how the construction world works, or how you do what you do, and they're like, I could do that.
Yeah.
And now they try to like throw things together, and it is what makes it harder for to gain people's trust and stuff.
Yeah, the construction world's worse than used car salesmen.
Oh, it's
Well,
bad.
the entry or the barrier to entry is extremely
It's
low.
not even.
It's as low as it gets.
It's as low as the floor.
It's easier than getting a fucking job.
No, I agree.
And that's why I tell people
know what I mean?
every day I have the same spiel is like, check it out. Like, you can hire anybody can do your roof. Just like building your house, or just like you could hire anybody who's going to get it done. And at the end
do
of
it
the
yourself
day,
even if you want.
Yeah.
Right.
But here's the thing. When problems happen, when things go wrong, which nobody counts on things going wrong. You got to have somebody to call and say, hey, man, you guys built my house, and now this is happening, and you're going to come over and make it right.
Yeah, it's...
Or risk it and I don't know, try to save some money.
Yeah, no. I mean, especially early on, the people that gave us early Google reviews and took the risk on us, I'll help you forever.
Yeah.
I'm indebted to you for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Forever. And I tell people that, like, call me.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, I don't care. I'll send somebody. I'll come myself.
Yep.
Like,
that's been one of
you guys took that early on risk with me. I'm fucking down with you forever.
Forever.
Dude, our first job we got, you talk about, like, I can't believe. I remember we got our first job, and they gave us $10,000. And we had 10 grand, and we were like, we sat there for like 10 minutes. Like, did they really just give us 10 grand?
That's fucking wild. I get it, dude.
But we did the right thing. I'll say that.
We absolutely did the right thing.
Yes, we did. We didn't take out.
We came rolling up to the job a couple of days later in our new work van. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We bought
That's
a cheap
the way it
van.
is. I mean, even till we just took as owners. I mean, full transparency. We're in year 6. We just took our first bonus and wasn't even big. First one ever.
Right.
Just because we've constantly thrown back into the business.
Yeah,
every dollar.
For the life of it. For the entire life.
Yeah.
From day one.
Whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, and I say that to our employees. Like, if you need a tool, you need something that's going to make your job easier, let me know. I'm buying it. Like, it's in. I'm in. Just use it.
Yeah, I think that's been one of our big superpowers since we started, man, is another big factor why we are where we're at, is taking care of people. But just finding that balance, though, too.
How many internal employees do you guys have? So now I'm sure you have a production managers and project managers and,
I think we're at 12.
Yeah.
Which that number has went up and down.
Sure.
Doing the transition we just had, we kind of cleared house a lot because
kind of lost some guys.
Because doing insurance work and doing retail work and the roofing
worlds.
game is two completely different sales.
Yep.
I'll say this outwardly: you can't consider yourself a true salesman if you're doing insurance work.
I agree.
You're fucking.
It's a fucking cop out.
It's so fucking easy. You're knocking on a door and you're saying, "Hey, I get you a free roof."
It's a fucking cop out.
Well, these guys couldn't understand that.
Yeah.
And what I'm grateful for.
And so let me ask the question. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
Did they resent you for that? And that kind of fucked it? Okay.
1000%.
I agree.
We realized, man, at the end of the day, and we're still realizing just how many people were just truly taking advantage of us. Yeah. Like from subcontractors to employees to this to that. At the end of the day, when shit hit the fan and we changed everything, dude, everybody just completely changed up on us and I realized they were all there for just a paycheck.
Sure. Most people
You know
are.
what I mean?
Yeah, most people are.
Which is okay,
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, I got to win.
But like, for sure, and at the end of the day, you need to realize that people are fucking you. And the reason why I don't listen. This is what I'm getting at.
Keep letting it go.
You
right?
think,
yeah.
So we just extended a job offer to a younger kid coming from corporate, purchase manager, because I know I'm getting fucked. I know in this sector of the business I'm getting fucked in here because I don't do the volume NVR does. I don't do the volume that Miranda does. I don't do the volume that Infinity does. But it doesn't matter. Like, I'm still. I don't put people on the net 60 pay like the big builders. I don't nickel and dime. I'm not corporate. Like, I know I'm getting fucked in here, but now I'm going to prove it because like I said, we're hiring for talent now, and I want to know where I'm getting fucked. Like, this kid's going to figure out exactly where I'm getting fucked, what I should be paying for a lot of this stuff.
I could tell you this might help you, or you might just be like, oh, screw that, is one thing I realized. because I don't know how much you know about our partner, about Lance, but like, you got to realize, like, what we were doing, and when I say throwing money at problems, we were kind of just like paying everybody else before we'd ever even like take money for the business.
Wasn't in order.
So you guys are running profit first
so
model?
now the
are you
way,
running the profit first model?
No,
Okay.
I was making a joke. It what
I mean, here, I'll tell you this way. You ain't getting paid.
Listen, I've read all the books. We can have the
No
conversation.
doubt. All day,
you
right.
ain't getting paid, and I'll stand by this, and this is one thing I've learned in business, and if anybody follows me the rest of my life, I'll always stick to this. You ain't getting fucking paid until I get paid. I don't care if you're a fucking supplier and you do $1 billion a year and you want to swing your thing around and act like, because that's what we realized we were being taken advantage of, is by these like bigger companies that like we basically
like Beacon.
Yes,
I knew you were gonna say that.
and I love guys there and stuff, but like in general, all of them are the same way. And
Well,
not
we got
only
beat by 84 Lumber during COVID. It's the
Not
same
only-
thing. And I love the guys from 84 Lumber. They beat the fucking brakes off
not
me
only
on
that,
this,
manufacturers and the people making the stuff, and they all were just like, you don't realize, like, you get paid when we get paid.
Yeah.
That's
it's a business.
it.
It's the
It's
way
a
It's a
way
business.
to control
If
that
not,
variable costs like that, because it could get out of control, and it just helps you everywhere else too, and helps you with your payroll. And you think that's something that's living, breathing, out of control thing, unless you get control of it and you implement salaries, right? But you don't also implement salaries. You implement a performance bonus.
That's what we're
with
at.
it.
That's what
so
we're
then
at.
you're not losing on your hourly, and at the end of the day, it's a win-win for everybody. Win-wins. It has
I
to
agree.
be a win-win.
We're in the same thing. So, I told and I work with a lot of the girls in the office. So a lot of the guys come in 2 p.m. from the field, and then we kind of go from there. But selections coordinator, admin, operations manager, sales, those are my people day to day. And I told them the same thing. Like, this is where we're at in this business. You're going to all get paid bonus based upon the growth of the business. Like, if you want to win, I'm winning. Yeah. Like, that's it.
It's a winning
you guys
culture.
are already making good livings. Let's make it great.
Let's win.
But let's all win together.
Right.
Like, this is no more. And we've all done that. Like, I love our team. And that's been the great part about it is they've all sacrificed over the years.
Yeah, I would say more or less what I was trying to get at is like, you hold so much more power in your dollar that you're spending than you.
This is the fucking game. Like,
well, we didn't realize that. We're like, they're going to do this.
No.
For us,
I play chess with leverage.
I'm spending my money with you. I have the power, not you. I could go right to your competitor and buy the same thing.
There's a million suppliers out there. And I tell all my suppliers, listen, I'm not there because you're my supplier. I'm there because I like my sales rep. Yep. I buy into the jockey. Fuck the horse. Yep. Like, fuck that horse. I'll shoot that horse and go get another one. Sure. Like, what I'm buying into is the person that I have day-to-day contact. Like, I don't talk to Maggie Hardy, but I talk to my 84 rep 20 times a week. Yep. I'm getting updates on lumber markets. I'm getting forecasting. I'm getting, locked-in pricing, per quarter. I'm getting, all these things that we need. That's where the people in business get it fucked up. Because they're like, now you need to tighten your pricing, especially because it's just going before you know it. And if you're not paying attention to it, you're paying out your ass. And you're like, what the fuck happened here? Why are my margins down? Because you're slowly just sliding it in.
You
gotta pay.
Yeah, because how many businesses are actually sitting down on a normal basis and combing through every single thing you're buying and saying, wait, why is this an extra this?
This fucking guy.
Yeah,
you have to.
Well, we do now too, but it takes you a long time to realize that.
Oh yeah,
and a team with the team we have now, they've.
Yeah, we were so focused so focused on a day-to-day
driving
ops.
Money. You're fine. You're just focused on driving money.
That's it. Yeah. Right. Yeah, if we're not done with
we
it,
would almost
should be okay.
Yeah, we would get to our things and be like, well, this is like kind of is what it is. What about this?
Yeah. Move on to the next one.
Yeah.
So what are your day-to-days now? Like, what's Adam, what's your day-to-day look like now? Like, what's your role in the company?
Yeah, so right now, my role and moving forward as we grow is going to continue to be the same, but I'm a W-2 sales rep.
Okay.
So I eat what I kill.
Okay. So you're actually physically still going out and selling.
Still physically.
Okay. So you're not the sales manager yet. You're still a sales rep.
I'm at the table in the intense moment.
Nice.
going through it,
Cool.
and, getting somebody a new roof or something.
Are there other ones? You have other sales reps too?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're kind of in the sales manager role too.
I'd say it's more or
we
less.
haven't. Go ahead. Go ahead.
We're just like leading from the front.
Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
leading from the front. That's you could keep it at that. Yeah. Because we have other people in those leadership roles at the moment,
Cool.
as to where it's
All right.
not our day to day.
Gotcha.
But we are expected
Gotcha. So you have someone that you almost answer to that's in
Oh,
that
yeah.
role. Okay.
We're
cool.
to the point now in our business. It's
Gotcha.
funny, and I'm actually grateful for where
Yeah, you're not the best.
we work
Oh,
for
yeah,
the
it's supposed
business.
to
We
be.
work
Yeah,
for our
right.
business.
Yeah.
We answer to people. Yes, sir. No, sir. I'll get that for you. I'll do this. I'll do that, because we have a long-term plan
Good. I like it.
that is,
Fuck yeah. I like it. I'm a long-term
Like
player, dude.
our-
I play so fucking long-term, it makes people sick.
yeah.
Yeah, I like,
Well, yeah, if you had a coach come in and he's like, hey, listen, I want you to go back to selling. You're like, wait, what? This is my business. You're like,
fine, man.
yeah.
Whatever.
Hey, you know more than me. You've done this numerous times. So,
I'm in this for the legacy and the money, man.
Sure.
You do whatever you tell me to do.
yeah.
So what's your day today?
Same.
Travis?
I do sell.
Sell both
Yeah.
ends.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
We're leading from
So do you
Well,
have
we
any,
told
do
you
you
that was
have
one
do you
of
guys
our-
have C-suites in place? Like do you have like a CFO
Yeah,
or is
correct,
your
yes.
partner's kind of the CFO now?
not
No.
him directly. No.
But you have a CFO.
Oh, yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
CFO, CEO.
Nice. So you
Yeah.
have a full
CT.
C-suite.
Marketing manager. We got
Nice.
all, yeah.
Nice.
And
Whole
we kind
accounting
of plug
team.
and
Nice.
play.
So where are you guys at revenue-wise now?
It's hard to say.
Just for
this
people
year.
to put in perspective of like what it takes to actually get that full team in place. Is it $6 million a year?
We
$5
did
million a
6
year?
last
Six
year.
last year. Yeah.
We're probably on pace this year to do 9.
Nice.
Or, but
Awesome.
like in a short period of doing what we're doing now.
You're gonna get
By next year is gonna be
Sure.
We've been able to do what we were doing with the insurance game, just with the retail model,
Awesome.
and having
So
more
you've already
control over
really
everything.
kind of made the shift.
Oh yeah.
Hard
awesome.
pivot.
Awesome.
There was no
Nice.
even shift.
Good.
There's no shift.
Good.
Pivot.
I like it. We're doing the same thing. I like it.
It's
Hard
doable,
pivot.
brother.
Yeah.
It's doable. I didn't.
It's
think
awful, but it's doable.
It's
Yeah.
absolutely and you
Awesome.
don't think it is, man,
Nice.
but it's fucking doable.
Fuck yeah.
Man.
And we're going like the next 3 days. So what's beautiful is we get to work every day for our business and like a regular, like we're employees. We obviously do a bunch of things on top of that.
Yeah, right.
We're not just like,
Not
but-
just sales reps and go home.
No
Not at
doubt,
all.
no
Yeah,
doubt.
no.
So we're going for the next few days actually out to Bristol to do just leadership.
Okay.
Basically training and going over all the P&Ls and
Yeah.
learning like
Nice.
the
Maybe all
things
the
we're
leaders
learning
different.
is like
All
priceless.
3 of you?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Dope.
Well, he runs it.
Oh yeah,
So-
yeah. That's right. Yeah. So how did that connection get made?
Well, and we do have a fourth partner too, out of Altoona
Okay.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Guy named. Guy.
No, that happened. I actually met him at wrestling,
Okay.
which I ended up finding out that a lot of guys are in wrestling.
Yeah.
He likes wrestlers.
Yeah.
But I met
So
him.
he's a Bell Vernon guy,
No.
No,
a local, or is he from like traveling?
he's from Bristol.
Okay.
Philly, yeah.
Gotcha.
But my kids,
So you met him through like travel wrestling.
my kids went to States. His kids went
Gotcha.
to States.
Gotcha.
I knew who he
Power
was.
relationship, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
And at the time, it's funny
Because that relationship changed your fucking life.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
Listen, it's funny because I'm like, dude, I gotta meet that dude. And my girlfriend at the
Always telling
time,
me
she's
about him and
like,
stuff.
why? Who is that? And I'm like, what's funny is we're in this like stadium with all these people, and nobody even knows who that dude is. But to me, what used to be, I was in bands and like, played football, like rock stars in NFL. Well, at this time in my life, that dude's a fucking rock star.
Yeah.
And nobody in here even knows who he is.
Wow.
So I went up and just talked to him. We took a picture together. I was like, love what you're doing, bro. Da-da-da-da. Posted on my social media. Gets 7 likes or something. I don't care about that. I'm doing it more or less for relationships, and I'm all about that type of stuff. Well, then he ends up looking into him and reaching out. And, like, it's crazy how it naturally happens.
But that was a key move on your. But that was a
story,
key move on your part for supporting that.
Yeah,
Because some partners shoot that shit down. Like, that was a key moment for your guys' relationship.
He would mention them here and there. He
Yeah.
would say,
no, that's a key moment for your guys' relationship. Because you could have easily been like, fuck that shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then it would have never transpired, right?
Yeah.
Well,
That's wild, right?
The conference,
one fucking conversation trigger could spun your whole thing. Because you could have easily been like,
change
fuck that
everything.
shit. And
Yeah.
you'd have never been where you are now.
Yeah.
That is
And from the
wild,
network we built is how we had access to him.
Yeah.
The guy that owned the conference, they own
Yeah.
it together now. I reached out to him. It's like, hey, think you get me a phone call? And he's like, fuck yeah, absolutely, no problem. Had a phone call the next fucking day. We were in Philly 2 days later, sitting at the table with him discussing.
Dude, I'm
everything.
so grateful, man, and I'd love to share more, like when that time comes. But
yeah, we'll have to have you back on.
fun.
this
man.
dude is like, man, even beyond business, he's one of the greatest dudes I ever met.
Fucking great, man.
And he's
Awesome.
so down to
I'm happy
earth.
for you guys.
And the shit we're learning from him is, dude,
ROI
crazy.
infinite.
Dude, crazy.
It's great, man.
And it's
You deserve it.
And it's
Worked hard.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And it's like one of those skills we're learning that like you could do with any business. Like,
Yeah.
we're not just
Because I
learning
remember
roofing.
when you first came into the gym, you was half-assing the fuck out of that shit.
Yeah.
He was half-assing the fuck out of it. Come in sometimes,
Yeah.
and do some shit.
I'd
you
love
know.
to get back into
Yeah.
CrossFit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you turned it around, man.
Yeah.
It's good for you. No, it's interesting because, at the end of the day, like, like I said, as a partnership, you guys got to be there for each other and understand, like, each is into different shit, right?
Yep.
So, like, same with my partners. They're not really into the coaching thing as much as, like, I am. But, I took my partner down to meet Claudio and all the other shit, and he's like, okay, man, like, let's go. And again, like, but it could easily get shot down. And then that 1 second right there will alter your life and your business forever. I mean, look at that. Because if everybody's stars didn't align, you would still be fucking rowing up a creek and not rowing all in the same direction.
No doubt.
Climbing. Right.
Doc.
Right.
Well, that's cool, man. I love the story. I love in regards to, the next steps that your guys are taking. I really look forward to watching it, in the background. And, it's good that, I like what you did too, is as far as like closed mouths don't get fed, dude. People have a hard time asking other people for help.
Absolutely.
And I think it's one of the most powerful things in the world when you reach out to somebody and just
wasn't
say,
getting
hey,
an
man,
answer.
I'm not sure where I need to go next,
Yeah.
but I think you might know, and I would love to get some of that time if I can provide some value.
Right.
And it's tougher. I'm sure, like you said, you get messaged all the time anymore from people, and it's hard to extend your time to everybody.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that becomes a challenging thing because, for us as entrepreneurs and as success starts to build, more people want to either you're unsure of whether you're grabbing a hold of my coattails to just take this ride or you want to go on your own ride.
Yeah, or what's a
good
problem for
observation.
me is I sit there and I pour all this information into somebody, and I
shit.
realize now why people charge for it,
Oh, yeah.
which is I 100% I'm going to charge people to coach one day because I feel like they don't listen whenever you just sit there and tell them for free. Like you almost got to charge somebody just so they're like, I got to get my money's worth.
Commitment.
For sure, they're not taking it serious.
Yeah, they don't take it serious. Like they just like if Claudio would have been like, yeah, sure, come down, I'll tell you everything. Like you would have been on this. Well, you're to a
You
point
would've,
now
we
where you
would,
would
right.
have.
Yeah, but I told him though, like this is the same conversation, right? So he just dropped his marketing shit, so I joined that. I joined his coaching on one-on-one just with him. I'm like, bro, I'm in on the jockey. Like I love the dudes inside of Win Rate, like Sam and Cliff and all them guys. I met them all through, an Apex circle, and like as that dissolved, like it was. Again, like I love their culture. I love what they're built upon. I love that they all stand. Like these are true guys, and I appreciate that. But and I told Claudio this. I said, bro, if we have a plan to get us to 24 million, I'm all in with you because I set the plan with you. So whatever the fuck you're offering in the midst of going to 24 million with our company, I'm in because I believe in you. Yeah. That's the same shit. Like I sent him my whole like this is what I got done at the end of the week, bro. I'm just checking in with you. I'm not. You didn't ask me this or not. I'm just letting you know this is how I'm rocking.
Yeah,
like
right.
I got this done, this done, this done, this done. We hired this out, this out, this out. And,
Right.
But that's what I believe it should be is if I chose you as my coach, I'm all in, man. Like, I never played like when I played soccer as a kid, I wasn't always looking to the other team's coach for advice. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like I'm rocking with
I
you.
got
You're the head of my team. You
Which
know?
is a very valuable piece of advice in the sense that like pick somebody, pick a lane, pick something, and just commit to it.
And there's different levels to it. I mean, I've needed different levels of coaching in different levels of my career. You know, beginning, I needed the fundamentals. I needed to learn how to build a good base and then build upon that. And then it got to a point of where I'm like, okay, I need someone who's just in construction. I need someone who's just who understands my industry. Like I need someone who can guide me down the complications of what I have going on. I don't need business.
Right.
Business is broad.
Right.
I do this.
Yeah.
Like I do this little piece of business. Let's get real fucking focused on that.
Yep.
You know, and that's what I was, was saying is what one number that I've always looked at intensely over the years is efficiency. Because it matters. When you're a $20 million business, 2% of efficiency, well, it's life-changing.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking a couple $100,000.
Yep.
And 2% efficiency, you mean you can't get 2% efficiency a quarter? That's fucking nothing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, so if you save that over 4 quarters, you must have saved $1 million. I'm like, that's how crazy it is.
Right?
Like, just small little breakdowns of the little wins that inevitably get you to this.
It's hard to see those at
Crazy,
first,
right?
dude. It's impossible to see that.
I've been
at
preaching
first,
this shit for
really,
years,
dude.
but like finally
and
our team
then
sees
you start
now,
seeing
like,
it, and you're just like, oh my god, this is like if I would have fucking just did this 6 years ago.
What's great, like I said, what's great is about our company is like I've never had to worry about construction. Like my partners have always had it.
They had
like
it.
I've never
Right.
needed to worry about it. Like it's never unless it's a fucking catastrophic incident, I'm never even notified.
Yeah.
Like I don't know of any day-to-day bullshit anymore.
You don't know none of the bullshit, right?
Nothing. I'm just forging the business forward all the time, pushing, which becomes tough. Like you said, I mean, you know, like when you rolled out your new model, like guys were like, "This is fucking bullshit. I'm out of here."
Oh yeah.
See you, bye. Like because if all of our visions don't align, then I don't want you.
And that's
There'll
what it come
be
down
bodies.
to. That's what it came down to. You know what I mean? It's not
There's going to be other people that need paid.
Yeah.
And the next time I'm hiring for talent.
Yeah.
And then if you aren't what I want, I'm going to fire you fast as fuck. And I'm going to do it all over again. So I find someone who, you know, big thing for what we look for is culture. Like you really got to fit into our culture. Because I've had some of the same, I still have some of my field guys. I have a field guy I've had since my very first job. Still with us.
No shit.
Yeah, he'll never leave.
Yeah.
You know,
I've
had no turnover internally in my office.
Right.
Not one.
Right.
You know. And that's a bond that you can't come in and break. Like I will fucking I will not allow you in my office if you come here and start causing problems.
You're out quick.
Internal people
Yeah.
that have really forged the path of this. Because I look at them like when we started here and we're across the street, we didn't have heat and shit. It was awful. Like fucking like, that was the
legit,
real ground level shit. And the people that are still here, I love you more than anything in the world.
Yeah, they're committed to you and believe
Well,
in you.
and your people aren't going to let somebody like that in.
No, and you
know what
know,
I mean?
and that's always a concern, right? Is like you just because one thing that throws off the culture will throw off your business.
Yeah.
And you'll not have fun, and you're going to be putting out problems that you don't need to deal with.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. Legit. Yeah.
Well, let's close on this, man. What would one piece of advice you would give to somebody in business starting out, or even just going through the shit?
I'll go back to what I was talking about because, you know, being indecisive and not knowing what to do, I feel like is the number one place that, you know, what do they say, where dreams go to die, is in the planning mode. Shoot first, aim later, because way too many people have great ideas and they're just waiting for the perfect time.
No such thing.
Perfect conditions.
No such thing.
Just go. Just do it. That's my advice to anybody starting off. Find a lane, commit to it, go.
Yeah, you know, and one thing that I've learned lately in particular, but like I wish I'd have known this from the gate, is every single day when you're in business matters. You know, I used to joke and say, well, we don't deserve weekends and holidays, and I probably didn't understand it, but that you get, it's not yours anymore. And that's okay. You learn how to balance that and you learn how to deal with it. But like, I just didn't understand the concept of like a 7-day work week, right? You're not working on Sunday, but you're tuned into your business. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you. I think every day matters is a great
every
slogan.
single day matters, man.
It does.
Every
because
day.
Again, it goes back to like what I said before, is each problem that you and I have or every problem we ever fucking wanted.
Yep.
1,000%.
Every problem we ever wanted.
Yep.
100%.
Yep.
Well, man, I really enjoyed this conversation. I really did. I got a lot out of it. We had a great conversation. I appreciate you guys. I really do, giving me some of your time today, and
thanks
you know,
for
kicking
having us,
some
man.
game. And like I said, I look forward to the future. I look forward to watching what you guys do, man. I love the switch out of insurance. I'm gonna fucking tell you that, man. I love it. I love it.
You didn't know that, huh?
No,
That's
no,
awesome.
I love it. I think your guys are gonna kill it,
man.
You're gonna kill it,
appreciate
man.
it,
I'm super
man.
excited for you.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks,
All right,
man.
bro, thanks for having us.